Hey guys, what's up? I am back with a brand new video and it's time to do a speed test comparison between the Oppo A96 versus the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 as well as the Oppo A96, and both phones is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 630 processor. We have 4GB of RAM versus the 8GB of RAM on the Oppo A96. On the back we have quad cameras on the Redmi Note 11, while on the Oppo we have dual cameras. Both phones has a main 50 megapixel main camera. Also we have 8 megapixel ultra wide. We also have a 2 megapixel macro and a 2 megapixel depth sensor on the Redmi versus a 2 megapixel depth sensor only on the Oppo. No ultra wide lens, and the back on both phones is made up of plastic, and the frame also is made up of plastic, and the frame of the Redmi Note 11 is more flat, and you can see, which gives a more premium feel over the Oppo A96. On the bottom we also have a headphone jack on the Oppo, which is also available on the Redmi Note 11, which is on the top as you can see, and both phones also has a dual speakers. So in this video I'm going to show you how is the Oppo A96 is stacked up against the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 in apps opening speed as well as in the boot up test. So without any wasting time, let's get right into it. And guys, now let's quickly boot both of these phones up at the same time. Here we go. Logo is came up first on the Xiaomi, and the vibration is here at the same time on both phones, and the logo now it is also here on the Oppo after a while. And we have Android 11 on both phones. We have MIUI version 13 versus a ColorOS version 11.1. No Android 12 right out of the box on both these devices, and that's really disappointing. And the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 is way faster when it comes to booting up, and you can see, while the Oppo A96 is taking a lot of time. And now the Oppo A96 it is also done, and you can see about 6 or 7 second difference there between these devices when it comes to booting up. And guys, now let's talk about the displays between these two devices. On the Oppo A96 we have 6.5 inch Full HD Plus IPS LCD display with 90Hz refresh rate, while on the Redmi Note 11 we have 6.4 inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with 90Hz refresh rate, and both phones also has a punch hole, and you can see, which is on the center on the Redmi as compared to on the left hand side on the Oppo A96. Also, in the frame of the Redmi Note 11 is more flat, so it feels more slimmer as compared to the Oppo A96, although we have 5000 mAh battery size on both phones. So now let's see apps opening speed. Everything is closed up in the background. No application is running in the background. Also we have same Wi-Fi network on both phones. Now let's start off with the phone dialer. Let it move faster on the Oppo. Now let's opening up settings, and that is way faster on the Oppo. Now let's go to the display and let me show you the refresh rate option. Again we have 90Hz refresh rate on both phones. Again IPS LCD display versus a AMOLED display, huge difference in the display quality, and the Redmi Note 11 is give you one of the best displays in this price range, no doubt about that. Now let's open Amazon shopping with same Wi-Fi network, and the Oppo A96 let it move faster there. So now let's see the scrolling. That is feels really smooth on both phones. 90Hz is very stable on both phones. Opening up this, also a little bit more faster on the Oppo. Now let's check out some games application. Now let's see that how is the Snapdragon 680 is performing on both phones. Now let's opening up the Candy Crush Saga, and Oppo A96 let it move faster there as compared to the Redmi Note 11. So here is the Oppo A96, and the Oppo A96 also has a dual speakers. So here's the Oppo looks like with max volume. The speakers is really decent on this phone. Here is the Redmi Note 11, and the Redmi Note 11 has a much better speakers as compared to the Oppo, but we had dual speakers on both phones. That's really good thing. Now let's open Instagram faster on the Oppo. Now let's opening up Pinout. Pinout is also faster on the Oppo A96. So the Snapdragon 680 is, I feel, little bit more optimized on the Oppo. Now let's opening up Snapchat faster on the Oppo. Let's see Spotify, again faster on the Oppo. Let's see Subwoofer. And you can see in the game app loading time, and the Oppo A96 is performing a little more faster there. But this time the Redmi Note 11 is a little more faster there at the end. Now let's opening up the Temper 2. And then Temper 2 should be similar on both phones, but let's see. And the Oppo and both phones is opening up the Temper 2 at the same time. And you can see very similar on both phones. Now let's opening up the PUBG Mobile, and the PUBG should be very similar on both phones, but let's see. Both phones has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 processor, and the Oppo is faster there. Yes, it is more faster there as compared to the Redmi, about 1 or 2 second difference there. Also, we have smooth graphics with high frame rate on both phones. Now let's opening up the Tutor, and that is more faster on that is very similar. Now let's opening up Zedge, and Zedge is faster on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 as compared to the Oppo. So now let's see, just scrolling, and that is very smooth on both phones, no lag whatsoever. So last I'm launching the cameras on both phones, default camera application. Now let's see who is going to be the fastest one. Now let's opening up the camera, faster on the Oppo as compared to the Redmi. So now let's look at the front camera. Here's a front facing camera looks like on both phones, and the front camera is more better on the Oppo. Okay guys, now let's see internet browser speed. I am seeing default Google Chrome on both phones. Also we have same Wi-Fi network. Opening up wikipedia.org, and Wikipedia is very similar on both phones. Now let's see the scrolling. That is very similar on both phones, but in the Google Chrome cannot feed the 90 Hz refresh rate. It is on 60 Hz. Now let's open this English. That is a little more faster on the Oppo. Let's see the scrolling again. Both phones is on 60 Hz. Next on the list is the apple.com, and apple.com is faster on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11, as you can see, while the Oppo it is also right behind there. Now let's see the scrolling, and that is very similar on both phones. I cannot see the 90 Hz refresh rate madness. So now check our RAM management on both phones. On the Oppo we have 8 GB of RAM, while on the Redmi we have 4 GB of RAM. Phone dialer, refresh on the Redmi. Let's see settings, not refresh. Amazon shopping, that got refresh on both phones. Let's see Candy Crush Saga. Candy Crush is refresh on both phones. Instagram, refresh on the Redmi. Let's see Pinout. Pinout is refresh on the Redmi. Let's see Snapchat, refresh on the Redmi. Spotify, seems like refresh. Subway Surfer, refresh on the Redmi. Let's see Temper 2. Temper 2 is got refresh on the Redmi. Let's see PUBG Mobile. PUBG is refresh on the Redmi again. Now let's opening up the Tutor. That is seems like in-app refresh on the Redmi only. Zedge, refresh on the Redmi, in-app refresh. And last we're back to the internet browser, refresh again on the Redmi Note 11. And guys, so what I have to say regarding the app's opening speed, as you can see that, and the Oppo A96 is performing a little more faster in the game monitoring time. But as far as the system-based application are concerned, and both phones is performing very similar in that area. In terms of the RAM wise, and the Oppo A96 is performing a little more better in the RAM management as compared to the Redmi Note 11. Also, we have 5000 mAh battery size on both phones, and both phones also has a 33 watt fast charging, and that's about it. And thank you so much for watching this speed test comparison between the Oppo A96 versus the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel for daily tech videos, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. And I will see you in my next video. Peace out.